Hello and welcome to the Radical Podcast, inspired by the essence of the word radical, proceeding from the root. We explore the roots of metaphysical wisdom.
This season is all about divination, tarot, and the power held within our intuition. This is The Radical with Nicole and Christina, the two metaphysical girls in the material world.
Hello, welcome to the Radical Podcast. This is Christina.
And I'm Nicole.
Today we are covering the 5, 6, and 7 of Pentacles tarot cards because we are covering the tarot cards for Taurus season.
That's right.
We've got a list. We've got a
story time.
I was going to say story. We've got story time with Nicole, Pentacles story time, and then card comparison, our favorite, where we like to spend the most time, and message from the universe. Okay, message from the universe. I'm using the Goddess Power Oracle deck. I love this deck. The cards are so beautiful. And I shuffled these twice this morning because the first time I divided the deck into 5, the goddesses did not like being divided into 5. So I had to reshuffle and it was just 2 piles. And then I put the piles together and then I drew the cards. And that's why we have 2 cards today. I was listening closely to my intuition when I was shuffling that deck. But that's what we've got today. I'm going to jump right in and start the list. I've got a shorter list so that we can spend a lot of time talking about the cards, but I'm going to cover some of the qualities, properties, attributes, and correspondences. So the card name is Pentacles. Pentacles are a 5-pointed star enclosed in a circle. If the star is by itself, it's a pentagram. If it's enclosed in a circle, it's a pentacle. Think of circle, pentacle. They're also called coins and discs. And in our everyday playing cards, this is the suit of diamonds. Pentacles deal with the physical, material world. Home, property, material success, wealth, work, and diligence, like your career and income, resource management. And we'll talk about generosity and greed, generosity versus greed, like how you allow your currency to flow, and also health and body. The card number is 5, which is the V, Roman numeral, challenges and strife. 6, VI, 5 + 1, for gifts and good feelings all around. And 7 is VII. These are easy, right? It's not until we get into the teens that I absolutely lose all sense of concept over the Roman numerals. And 7 can be an uncanny luck and synchronicity everywhere. The element for Pentacles is Earth. Earth represents stability, groundedness, materiality, and fertility. This was a lot of what the ancient Greek philosophers and other traditions focused on when they talked about the earth element. And the modality of these cards, of the 5, 6, and 7, is fixed because it's the middle of the Pentacles journey. And the fixed earth sign is Taurus. And Taurus is known to be the zodiac's most grounded, stable, and tenacious builder. Because Taurus represents a steadfast determination, practicality, deep sensual connection to the material world, and all that means in the positive sense and, the reversal of that, the negative sense of being too connected to the material world. And talking about being too connected to the material world, and then some of the other lower vibrations could be resisting change in favor of security and comfort. The 5 of Pentacles is Mercury in Taurus. The 6 of Pentacles is Moon in Taurus. And the 7 of Pentacles is Saturn in Taurus. The house is the second house. Taurus rules the second house, the house of possessions. The mantra could be, I have. Moving into the tree of life, the Five of Pentacles is ruled by the fifth sphere of Gabura. All the fives are ruled by the fifth sphere of Gabura, which is strength, judgment, and discipline, ruled by Mars. The Six of Pentacles and all the other sixes are ruled in the sixth sphere of Tiphareth, the sphere of beauty, harmony, and glory, ruled by the sun. And that's in the center of the tree of life. That's why it's a balance and harmony. And the Seven of Pentacles, the seventh sphere of Netzach, again, all the sevens, for victory, endurance, and passion, ruled by Venus. Okay, for the chakra and the crystal, again, I'm focusing more on the themes of the card and then some ideas about what would relate to those themes. So for the Five of Pentacles, generally, worry, hardship, and uncertainty. For me, the chakra that I'm drawn to when I'm in that headspace would be my root chakra for security, and working on connecting to that chakra, working on grounding and working on my ability to feel secure. But you may feel those feelings in a different chakra, listeners. For the crystal, I was cleaning, I recently reorganized my altar, and then I was cleaning out my stepdaughter's room, and I found these worry stones. Did you ever have any of these where it's a stone or a crystal in a disc or oval or round shape with a little indention in it for you to rub your finger or your thumb, and they're called worry stones. To me, I'm not as concerned about what the crystal is, more so the function of it. That you could carry this around with you and you could touch it whenever you're starting to get overly worried or overly in your head, and it could be your touchstone to bring you back. And then depending on what crystal it is, you just connect with the energy of that crystal, and it may help you with the energy of the Five of Pentacles. For the Six of Pentacles, I see this as balance and being aware of and in the flow of energy and the flow of currency and generosity. For me, the chakra where I feel that is my heart chakra, Anahata. The beating of my heart connected to the beating of all the hearts, connecting to the rhythm of the whole universe and being in that flow. And you may have a different chakra where you feel that. And the crystal, immediately I thought of jade, but I feel like it can be any stone or crystal or item that is shaped like a pentacle or a circle or the color of your currency. So they could be whatever currency you're thinking of. They could be gold, silver. I mean, they could be dimes and pennies. You could have a little collection of actual currency. It could be your travel money. When Nicole and I were in Costa Rica, I gave her a pentacle, Costa Rican coin. It could be that. It could be something that you picked up on a travel. But I like the feeling of that, and that I was drawn to that for the energy of this card to represent that you have the currency in your hand, but also that you're connecting to the flow of that currency, the flow of that energy. That might resonate with you. Take it if you like, or write us an email and tell us what crystals you do think match that energy better. And for the Seven of Pentacles, I see the energy of this as divination or timing, like pondering what to do and when to do it. Divination is one aspect of that, and patience. For me, that's the third eye chakra, Anjna. Patience and perception and putting it all together with all the information you have before you make a decision. To me, that's third eye energy. And I did look this one up because I thought I had this crystal, and then I went through my collection and I do have it. It looks like a little candy egg. It's called chrysocolla. Do you remember this crystal?
Mm.
I remember reading about it, and I have a piece of it. And this is for divine timing and trust in the divine.
Mm.
So
That's
with that
perfect.
little element, well, depending on it could be a big element or a little element of uncertainty and patience in the Seven of Pentacles, this beautiful green, it's like a teal blue green with brown dots and some white banding in it, might be the stone that you reach for that, for divine timing and trust. And it's chrysocolla. And I also like the name of that, chrysocolla.
Mm-hmm. I like it too. I have a couple notes on the numbers. 5 can symbolize crisis, strife, instability, challenges, as well as uncertainty and loss. I think we'll see those themes in this card. The 6, harmony, growth, gifts, and good feelings, as well as abundance and balance. The 7 can symbolize potential, faith, synchronicity, as well as luck and magic.
I read a very fun little blurb about 7. A blurb. That's not a real word. I
Blurb.
read blurb. I read a fun little note about 7, how it has the 3 and the 4, and the 3 representing heaven and the 4 representing earth. And that 7 a lot of times is the bridge between the two. Did you ever read that or see that? And that has stuck in my head with 7, because 7 is often a very, very spiritual number. And that could be one of the reasons why it feels that way.
I have our decan chart. 5 of Pentacles. This card is the Lord of Worry. The decan is the first Taurus decan, Taurus 1. It begins around April 19th or 20th when the sun is at 0 degrees of Taurus. And because we're in Taurus season, the corresponding major arcana card is the Hierophant, and it will be for all 3 of these cards. Mercury rules this decan. This is Mercury in Taurus. And because it's Mercury, we can think about the Magician and how the Magician influences this card. 6 of Pentacles, we do a 180 from worry into the Lord of Success. Taurus 2, the second Taurus decan, when the sun is at 10 degrees of Taurus, around April 30th or May 1st. This is the moon in Taurus. This is an exalted astrological placement. So the moon is exalted in Taurus, and the corresponding major arcana card for the moon is the High Priestess. 7 of Pentacles, the Lord of Failure.
That's kind of harsh.
I know. I
don't see failure in that card. I mean, I guess if you pluck your pentacles too early, if you harvest too soon, maybe.
Yeah, this is our 3rd Taurus decan, Saturn in Taurus. The timing is around May 10th or 11th for this decan, when the sun reaches 20 degrees of Taurus. And we can think about the World card, because that's Saturn's card. Like Christina mentioned, we are completing the story of the Suit of Pentacles with this 3-card trio. So if we remember back to Capricorn season, we talked about the story of the 2, 3, and 4 of Pentacles. And that could be the story of preparing ourselves for prosperity and abundance. In the 2 of Pentacles, we explore the ways of being and make changes that allow us to embody the principles of prosperity. The figure in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is sort of balancing 2 pentacles and is light on his feet. In the 3, we get to work. The character is not holding any of the pentacles.
And they're black worked into the facade of the building. All the other pentacles are gold.
In the 4 of Pentacles, we are revisiting the foundation and the ideas of resiliency and security that we created in the 2. We consider how we handle our increase in resources. Are we clinging? Do we have fear of losing our pentacles? Are we still embodying the spiritual principles that got us here? And in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the character is standing on two of the pentacles, one under each foot, holding one, and then there's one on top of his head. Today, we're talking about the 5, 6, and 7 of Pentacles. In the 5 of Pentacles, we can consider how fixed earth sign Taurus can become preoccupied with acquiring comforts outside of themselves. Christina touched on this. Taurus can be prone to things like over shopping, overspending, over reliance on feedback from others, fretting about not having enough. And this is Mercury in Taurus, so we can think about the mercurial mind tricks that can inflame this preoccupation.
But that Mercury influence, the thing that popped into mind is worry. You're mentally worried and you're not paying attention to what's actually going on. You're in your head about your pentacles. Yeah. That's Mercury.
Yes. Overthinking, worrying. So what we can think about with this card is, how does excessive worry block us from success, which is the very next card, the 6 of Pentacles, in which we are experiencing harmony, growth, gifts, and good feelings. In the 6 of Pentacles, we're tapped into the infinite flow of giving and receiving, which thereby creates more abundance and prosperity. In the 7 of Pentacles, we're sort of confronted with themes of potential, faith, synchronicity, luck, and magic, and the idea that patience is required during our growing season. This is Taurus. This is slow moving. It is earth energy. So there's not the quick delivery. We need patience. And then during Virgo season, we told the story of the 8, 9, and 10 of Pentacles. These cards deal with legacy, our tangible, our material legacies, and we're balancing who we are today with who we want to be tomorrow. So more of this like not instant gratification energy. We're thinking about the long term. In the 8 of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, we see a little apprentice progressing in his craft. In the 9 of Pentacles, the little Empress is standing amongst her grapevines. We get a feeling of things coming to fruition. And then in the 10 of Pentacles, we see 3 generations and sort of this culmination of a life cycle. And again, these ideas of legacy. Okay, some decanical interpretations. 5 of Pentacles, Mercury in Taurus, the Lord of Worry, the preoccupation of Taurus, the trickery of Mercury. 6 of Pentacles, Moon exalted in Taurus, the Lord of Success, the rooted stability of Taurus, and the flowing phases of the Moon. 7 of Pentacles, Saturn in Taurus, Lord of Failure, the loyal, kind of dedicated steadfastness of Taurus, and slow Saturnian time. The slowness is based on the astrological fact that Saturn was the slowest moving planet before the modern planets were discovered. And then I have a new section, the jobs.
The jobs. I loved it when we were doing the Emperor podcast, and it was like the first time we talked about the Emperor, and I was like, that was such a light bulb moment. I'm so glad you put this together.
It fascinated me too. I mean, all the credit for that concept goes to T. Susan Chang, and I was like, I'm going to apply it here. So the 2, 3, and 4 of Pentacles during Capricorn season, these are the jobs of the devil. The devil is having us look at self-imposed limits and chains, the limitations that come from our thinking, our conditioning, our beliefs. All of this is like money trauma to me. The devil asks us to, the devil card and Capricorn is asking us to like dig deep and really look at these things. It's a little shadow worky. We're making resolutions during this time of year, we're making changes. And I remember Christina saying this about the devil card. It's less about external situations aligning for you, and it's more about you have to do something. You have to
Exactly.
make the first move.
Yes. That's a doing card. And that's so earthy that it's like you need to physically do it. You have to do
Mhm.
something in this plane, in this physical plane of existence.
Yeah.
It's not a meditation card, it's a doing card.
Yes. So then the 5, 6, and 7 of Pentacles, the jobs of the Hierophant. With so much emphasis on faith in these cards, because we are confronting hardships, but then we're also in this sort of harmonious place with giving and receiving. Then in the next card, we need to have patience while we wait for the arrival of things we can't see yet. So, what will serve us best as we move through these 3 cards? And it's faith or trust or having a framework of belief, something to help see us through. And I thought about this morning. If we take the symbol from the Hierophant card, the processional 3-tiered cross, and apply it to these cards, we can think about hope and how that kind of sees us through the 5 of Pentacles moment, benevolence for the 6 of Pentacles, and faith for the
Mm.
7 of Pentacles. The 8, 9, and 10 of Pentacles would be the jobs of the Hermit. One of my books said the Hermit uses isolation as an element of research. We're trying to set up our material legacy. And part of that may require solitude and retreating, having deep contemplative moments, soul searching, withdrawing from our daily routine and going inward to kind of formulate all of that. So I loved thinking about the
Mm-hmm.
jobs
Mm-hmm.
in that way as we kind of wrap up the stories.
I'm going to start with my, 5 of Pentacles. The Spirit Song tarot deck has this as the 5 of Crystals. The spirit animal is the ladybug with the keywords of persistence and new possibilities. A group of ladybugs is called a loveliness. A loveliness of ladybugs.
That is amazing.
I do have to say that ladybugs are not bugs, they're beetles. They're not true bugs. They're lady beetles. But they generally can appear like, I think when we think of a ladybug, it's the red with the black dots, but they can be orange, yellow, black, and metallic blue with or without spots. Most ladybugs live for about a year. Some can live up to 3 years under ideal conditions, and they are like gardener's best friend because they're ravenous eaters of pests that most gardeners don't want in their garden. But they have a complete metamorphosis from egg, larva, pupa to adults, and the full life cycle can take 4 to 8 weeks. But they're also capable of hibernating for extended periods during the cold. As a spirit animal or as a totem, they can symbolize good luck. I mean, I've always used the little spell of when a ladybug lands on me, that's good luck. And I have been saying that since I was a child. The totem symbolizes good luck, happiness, spiritual protection. And they go through their metamorphosis and they can signal to you a positive transformation, divine intervention, and the unfolding of something new, like new beginnings. Because of the metamorphosis and sometimes because of the extended periods of stasis, as a spirit animal, this could encourage patience, also a lightheartedness, and trusting the divine timing to resolve challenges. The 5 of Pentacles for the wild unknown Key phrases are sadness, worry, and illness. In this card, 5 pentacles are in like a little arc at the top of the card within a half circle of white. In the center of the card is a rose, a red rose, wilted, losing its leaf. The rose, the red rose, so we just talked about last podcast, the symbol of love, but also red for that root chakra, and also red as your vitality and life force, and also as a representation of the physical realm. And that life force is wilting, as we can see in the depiction of that card. In the Secrets of the Witch's Garden, 5 of Pentacles, keyword is hardship. This is an echo of the Rider-Waite-Smith card. A young person is leading an older person past a warmly lit window with the 5 pentacles arranged on 2 trees. The author writes, "We inherit patterns and learned behaviors, and sometimes they aid us. Danger lies in continuing to apply what is no longer useful." We take the symbology of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck applied here. It has a different feel to me. It doesn't feel as harsh, and in some ways it feels more dangerous for those 2 individuals, but that light feels even more warm and welcoming if they would just look at it. If they would just look around for help or assistance. They're holding on to something. And another meaning of this card is to find a different way to overcome your hardships. Again, in the Secrets of the Witch's Garden, the author writes, "The secret of this card is the warm, sustaining light of the window. What they seek is right in front of them, if only they could see it. Disregard what is already known to find the appropriate solution." And finally, for my the Sacred She, this is the 5 of Earth. Keyword here is perseverance. And there's a tiny, colorful bird perched on a branch of a snow-covered tree in a snow-covered world, but that bird is very vibrantly colorful. It draws your attention to it, and I don't feel like that bird is in any danger. The author writes, card. Yeah, there's a lot of snow in the in the 5 of Pentacles. Well, it is an Earth card. There seems to be a lot of snow themes in this. And the author writes, "Working with limitations takes patience and awareness. That life is a process in which hidden strengths are revealed, especially during times of austerity. Once spring arrives, and it will, you'll appreciate this endurance test." This is when we say, "I am grateful for the opportunity of this difficult situation so that I could learn and grow."
So I am focusing on 2 decks for my card comparison. So 5 of Pentacles in Mystic Mondays, we have a seated figure, and her head, she's looking away from what's in front of her. What's in front of her is a doorway, or sort of like this threshold, with 5 pentacles arranged around the doorway. This card is very blue, and blue can symbolize our perception. This card, to me, conveys a feeling of worries and blockages and difficulties. And it reminds me of the 5 of Cups in that we have the choice to shift our perception. We have the choice to look around and see what else is happening around us, what else is available. We can also, maybe, hopefully, apply a lesson learned from the previous 3 cards, which was the job of the devil. We have to do something to get unstuck, and we have to make the first move. From 36 Secrets, she says, when you shift your perception, this shifts worry into the action of taking preventative measures. We can use our brain, our intellect, and our common sense up to a point where they can go no further, and then let faith take over from there. Perhaps that's the only way worry can stop grinding its gears.
Mm-hmm.
She says to plan and worry over what you love is the work of Mercury, the magus. To have faith that life will naturally and steadily ensue is the work of Taurus and the Hierophant. All she
Mm-hmm.
has to do is turn her head and she'll see the
Yeah.
doorway.
Yeah. Yep.
In the Light Seer's Tarot, it's so similar. We have a seated figure in front of a door. There's 5 pentacles on the door, and there's a key leaning up against the door. But she has her head buried in her arms, and that feels like she's in despair and distress. But all she has to do is turn her head
Mm.
ever so slightly, and she'll see that key, and she can unlock the door and liberate herself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is from 36 Secrets also. And it's, we talked about the symbols of the keys and the Hierophant, and keys are showing up in this card. And so T. Susan Chang writes, Mercury, the magician, the trickster, the realm crosser, the rule breaker, is a dangerous resident in the Hierophant's house of rules. What happens when the lock picker meets the keeper of the keys?
Mm-hmm.
Is magic the magician's faith? Is faith the Hierophant's magic? The piteous pair, imaged in the 5 of Pentacles, represent our terrifying human suspicion that we are utterly alone. Perhaps you want to give them the keys, or alternately teach them how to pick the locks. And maybe, viewed in a particular light, picking the locks is just a metaphor for doing magic. To believe without worry is surely a magical act.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready for the 6 of Pentacles?
Yes.
The Spirit Song Tarot has this as the 6 of crystals. They have chosen a meerkat as the spirit animal for this card with the keywords of synergy and gratitude. Okay, a group of meerkats is called a mob, or a clan, or a gang. They have sharp eyes. They're incredibly social. They live in large families. They hunt insects. They dig for roots. And they also help each other by looking out for predators while the one group forages, another group keeps an eye out. And there was a show on one of the, back when we used to have TV channels. And it was,
Meerkat Manor.
yes, yeah. Oh, that was so fascinating. I didn't watch a lot of it, but I watched enough of it to get like a sense of the how interesting and charming, but also complicated the lives of these meerkats are. But they tend to be curious and playful. They're famous, or they're known for teamwork. They take turns to do different jobs, keeping watch and grooming each other and staying in their tight-knit family groups. The meerkat as a spirit animal symbolizes vigilance, community, and a shared purpose. As a guide, it represents being watchful, social, protective nature. It'd be so cool if a meerkat was one of your spirit guides or a spirit animal. That would be so interesting. Anyway, so this is urging collaboration and teamwork. And that does resonate with me when we get into the deeper themes of this card as being in the flow of energy and the flow of currency, being in a place where you can give and receive equally. The meerkats, they take their turn when it's time to watch, and then they take their turn when it's time to eat. They do that because they're looking out for one another. For the wild unknown, this is 6 of Pentacles, keywords prosperity, growth, and generosity. And this card, a branch is growing into the card. It's got little red orange buds or fruit with the pentacle shape inside of the little bud or the little fruit. The author writes, the Six of Pentacles indicate that your long-awaited fruits are ready for harvesting, bringing you more wealth than anticipated. Make sure you are generous during this bountiful time. And the energy of that card is very, it's like we have the 5 and the 6 of Pentacles next to each other, and they are strikingly different cards. Out of like a lot of the cards that we did, this is a very vibrant, healthy plant growing pentacles for you, as opposed to the rose that was wilting and dying and letting go. In the Secrets of the Witch's Garden, this is 6 of Pentacles. Keyword is generosity. This is, again, similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but with, to me, much warmer, natural, earthy. There are creatures involved in the generosity of the main character, who is the giving character, and the receiving characters, the animals and another person. There's a tree, like she's sitting on a tree trunk. There's flowers growing behind. The 6 pentacles are in an arc above their head. It is, to me, a very beautiful, warm card dealing with being in the flow of energy and that flow of currency, whatever it is that you're sharing, whether it is energy, whether it's work, whether it is, I think I said currency, whatever it is, being in the flow of nature and your surroundings. And the Sacred Sheet, this is the 6th in the suit of Earth, keyword generosity. There's 2 hands. 2 cupped hands are turned, fingers pointing down towards another set of cupped hands with their palms facing upward. There's a rainbow, a flow of energy, but this energy starts from the very top of the card. The hands in the middle are just part of this flow, this rainbow energy, and then it's being reflected, received and reflected back up by the cupped hands at the bottom of the card. So that is a beautiful flow of giving, receiving, reflecting, and being in the middle of that flow. Because sometimes, maybe all the time, we're just the conduit of currency, that we receive it and then we let it go. We're the hands in the middle. We're just part of the flow. I don't have a printing press at my house. I'm not making currency. We're just, you know what I mean? We're in the flow of it. And that is, to me, that's the energy of that card.
In Mystic Mondays, we have a figure seated sort of in a meditative pose with this blue aura around her. And her arms are gently outstretched with palms open and facing upward in a receiving position. And 6 pentacles sort of arch overhead from palm to palm. And I'm noticing that the right hand, the pentacle is actually making contact with her palm, and the right hand would be the yang or the giving side. And then the left palm, the pentacle sort of hovering right above the left palm, the yin side, the receiving side. And this just feels like harmony and balance to me, being in the flow.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Lightseer's Tarot, there's sort of this like wispy infinity symbol in the backdrop, in the background. And it looks like an 8. So it's an infinity sign that I guess is vertical instead of more horizontal. So there's a hand sort of at the top of the infinity symbol and one hand at the bottom of it. And the top hand is in a giving gesture. It has a pentacle that it looks like they're about to sort of place into somebody else's hand. And the bottom hand is palm open, facing up, ready to receive the pentacle. So we see this infinite flowing motion of giving and receiving.
Do you want to know that I see it the opposite? I see the top hand picking that pentacle out, and the bottom hand is the one that was like,
Here,
yes.
here you go.
Yeah. Isn't that so cool? But I see it your way too. That figure 8 is like all of those discs are all
Mm-hmm.
part of the flow that they
Mm-hmm.
come and they, yeah. That's a
I'm here for it.
that's a pretty card too. I like that one. Okay, and then for the 7 of Pentacles, for the Spirit Song Tarot, it is the 7 of Crystals. They've chosen an aardvark for the spirit animal with the 2 keywords of options and results. A group of aardvark is most commonly called an armory, although they are generally solitary creatures. I like when I look this up, they'll tell me what a group is called, but then generally make a strong point to say they generally don't move around together. Aardvarks are solitary, nocturnal. They burrow. They are fantastic, earthy burrowers. And they're from sub-Saharan Africa. They can live up to 20 years. They can dig and bury themselves in 10 minutes. They can like disappear
Wow.
from sight. Yeah. And their burrows, I remember watching this on a documentary once. Like they will make them and then leave because they're such good diggers. They can just make them whatever they want. So all these other animals use their burrows. Like they're a key species in their environment because all these other animals use their abandoned burrows as homes. They're like the the house builders of sub-Saharan Africa for so many other animals. Aardvark is from the Afrikaans language and it means earth pig. They feed on ants and termites. I think I knew that. They like can eat so many ants and termites. They can eat hundreds of thousands. And the interesting thing that I didn't know this that they don't have any close living relatives. They're most closely related to elephants. Yeah. So, an aardvark as a spirit animal, grounding, resilience, and quiet, solitary strength. This can guide you towards self discovery through introspection and persistence. And they symbolize a deep connection to the earth, helping one staying grounded while navigating, nocturnal or subconscious realms. In the wild unknown, it's the 7 of Pentacles, and the phrase the author has there is period of contemplation. 7 pentacles are aligned diagonally across the card from the upper right corner to the lower left corner. And there's black lines drawn, like on the left side, they're being drawn from the top to the bottom. And on the right side, they're being drawn from the right to the left or the other way. But they meet where the pentacles are aligned. The author writes in their book, shouldn't you be reaping more rewards by now? Maybe so, but the mind has controlled over perception. It's possible your rewards are waiting for you to recognize them. They are not always monetary. In The Secrets of the Witch's Garden, 7 of Pentacles, the keyword is harvest. I love this card. I'm a gardener.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dress up the way that this character is dressed up to garden. They look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very it's just so earthy and so lush, and there's pumpkins and there's gourds and there's big golden pentacles, and the witch in this card is using their tarot cards to help them discern when is the right time for them to make their next move. They've got their gardening tool at the ready, but they are thinking, they're contemplating.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, for the Sacred She, we just had this card as a message from the universe just recently. It's 7 of earth, keyword is timing, and small purple flowers. They might be crocus because those will often bloom through the snow, are blooming through the snow. There's an image of hands. I don't see the hands as picking the flowers. I see the hands as like protecting the flowers and being a part of like the energy of like caring and coddling the flowers. But the flowers are doing the work. The hands are just there as like an image of support. But that is timing. When is the right time to break through the snow? That is the 7 of Pentacles for my decks.
Your final two Seven of Pentacles cards are very similar to the two I'm going to talk about. So in Mystic Mondays, we have a figure wearing what I think is like a really cute outfit also.
They are dressed up too.
Hair in a bun, a dress. The figure's watering a palm tree. There are 7 pentacles growing on the palm tree. She stands underneath a waning crescent moon. So to me, when I think about the moon phases, the new moon's coming next, a period of darkness. We can't fully see during this time. She's also standing, the figure standing in such a way that conveys a certain degree of like lightness. She's gently weighted on one foot more than the other. She has one hand on her hip and her head is held high. So there's this sort of like easygoing confidence or faith that everything's going to be fine. And then in the Light Seers deck, we have a figure, his eyes are closed, and he's tending to a newly rooted plant. One arm is resting on the dirt, and then the other hand is offering that sort of like supportive quality that your card had. It looks like he's offering like energy or chi or life force to this baby plant.
I just had a thought about another element of this card as I garden and you have plants. And we talked about this, how we can't see the roots and you can't dig up your plant to look at the roots and then put it back in the ground and expect it to grow and to be healthy. That we have to take a lot of that on this faith, and that is the contemplation of the character watering their palm tree. That is the attitude of the witch who's looking at her tarot cards, because we can't see everything that's working underneath the soil or behind the scenes. And your gardener and the two hands, all you can do is like offer support and to care for it and to be patient. We can't dig it up because we'll ruin the roots.
Exactly.
We have to trust.
And so, yes, there's something about this card that feels kind of like prayerful or meditative or like a ritual. It feels sacred. We, the viewer of this card, are able to see beneath the surface, and we see that the roots are in fact forming. We see that the roots are much larger than the little budding plant above ground. But like Christina just said, you know, the figure in the card doesn't have the ability to have that viewpoint without destroying the plant or harming the plant. In this card, the 7 pentacles are at the ends of the roots. So they're in the dirt, conveying trust in the process, trust in that which we cannot see, patience during the growing season and the developmental period. So, putting it all together, a collection of words for the 5 of Pentacles: feelings of lack, scarcity, depletion, loss, worries, blockages, difficulties, misfortune, deficits. The Light Seers field notes has a question: what role have you played in your own circumstances? And that's an uncomfortable question, but ultimately an empowering one because it puts you in that position of what can I do about it?
Mm-hmm.
How can I change my perspective? Six of Pentacles, generosity, grace, prosperity, harmony, the infinite flowing motion of giving and receiving in exchange. The question from Light Seers, where can you give more? Where can you take more? And I'm telling you, that second question gave me a whole bunch of feelings in my body. Where can you take more? That made me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Seven of Pentacles, patience during the growing season, planning, perseverance, sustainability, long-term strategy, gestation.
Mm.
The Muse Tarot deck in the guidebook called this a sacred plateau. In 36 Secrets, she says it's experience that leads to stamina. And that made me think of Saturn, because this is Saturn in Taurus. And then the Seven of Pentacles also conveys the message of keep going. The Light Seer's question is, how much faith do you have when you cannot see the proof?
Mm-hmm.
In reverse, the Five of Pentacles can be about feeling helpless or isolated, or that you're in a rebuilding phase.
And in the Secrets of the Witch's Garden, the question to write the reversal is, what can this challenge teach me?
The Six of Pentacles in reverse can convey inequality, hoarding, selfishness, greed, stagnation, or maybe giving too much.
And the question to write the reversal here is, why am I judging others?
Mm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. In reverse, the Seven of Pentacles could be about losing faith, feeling frustrated or impatient. My Mystic Mondays guidebook suggests also auditing your activities and releasing the ones that are depleting your energy if you draw this card in reverse.
And the question to write the reversal, what decision can I make? That's a lot. Another suit journey complete in this our zodiacal year of tarot.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. Are we ready for the message from the universe? There's two cards. Pick one or B. Okay. First card is Gaia, Earth.
Of course.
I think that's why I had to shuffle twice. The empowerment message from this card: being grounded, slowing down, and remaining present in your body is the message from the Greek goddess Gaia has for you right now. Perhaps you've spent too much time in your head lately and have not taken as good care of yourself as you would have liked. Get into a rhythm, make sure you get enough sleep, commit to spending more time in nature, eat sustainably with conscious awareness. Gaia, the earth, mother of all life, invites you to pay attention to your body, for you are a creature of the earth as well as spirit. You are part of this living earth, which is the foundation for all of life that has physical form. What form does life take? This is the perfect time to take a closer look to ensure you're happy with it. You're also asked to examine the foundation of what you are building now. Does it feel solid and stable? Now is the perfect time to focus on stability and security, ensuring you move forward in a grounded way. The goddess Gaia reminds you that the earth is a playground for conscious manifestation, so be respectful of this truth. Okay, the alignment message for Gaia: when you scatter your energy and allow fear to take root, you can become ungrounded or out of touch with your environment. You become disconnected from your true nature as a spiritual being having a human experience. The need now is to look at the cracks in the foundation of the life you've built. Whenever one aspect of your life is out of alignment, it affects everything else. Ground yourself with Gaia, the Earth Mother. She wants you to enjoy creating the world you live in. Your alignment task is to take a fearless inventory of where, how, and with whom you live your life. Is your energy draining from the choices you're making? Are you physically exhausted? Do you accept less than your value? Your efforts must now be repair the foundation of your life and begin again. You will be so thrilled with the results and wonder why you didn't do it sooner. The goddess Gaia is supporting your every move. All right. And card 2 is the white buffalo calf woman, reverence. The empowerment message is, now is the time to view your world through a lens of peace, harmony, and reconciliation, the domain of the Lakota goddess, white buffalo calf woman. It's time to leave the right, wrong, good, bad, zero-sum game world behind and enter the space where you can find the sacred ground of sharing without guile and negotiating from a desire that everyone benefits. You will be so glad you did. Take a humble yet grounded approach to your life right now. Only good will come of it. The goddess, white buffalo calf woman, supports this way of being in the world. The empowerment message: unconscious choices and behaviors may be causing a distortion in your world. Difficult feelings are part of the journey of self-discovery. You may have been conditioned to suppress what makes you uncomfortable in order to survive. You may have found yourself in a temporarily awkward place with someone and don't know what your next step should be. White buffalo calf woman offers you this alignment task. Make the discomfort, awkwardness, and the uncomfortable sacred. Think of what would happen if you made what you considered a flaw, loss, or failure a beautiful, integral part of the art of your life. Every breath you take is sacred. Every mistake you make is a gift. And every time you learn from a relationship is blessed. Bless all parts of you and your life, for you are sacred. And the white buffalo calf woman wants you to be at peace.
That was amazing. Thank you, universe.
Ooh, these goddesses are sending us a very on-theme message right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So beautiful. Now I know why I had to reshuffle that deck twice.
Yeah. We are listening. Next week, we're doing the Court of Pentacles.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah. So we will talk to you then, listeners. Until then, thank you. We love you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode. The Radical Podcast is created and produced by Nicole and Christina.
Music by Van Horton. His Instagram is Van Horton Music. Stay in touch with us at linktr.ee/theradicalpodnc.